We're going straight into the news review segment where we get to have a conversation regarding some of the topical issues, bring you different perspectives, and invite you to join us with your thoughts, your comments, and contributions. You can do so via the WhatsApp number on your screens, and you can join us on socials. We're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and we're very interactive on X, engaging on Instagram. You can also enjoy some video content from Channel One Television on TikTok. This morning, I would like to say good morning to the Honorable Nilante Van der Poy, former Member of Parliament for Diodio constituency and currently the National Coordinator for the District Road Improvement Program. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you. Very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm blessed.
Very well, very well, very well. All right, we're going to start off from the education front, and I'll take quick thoughts from you. We've seen the results of the recently conducted WASI, and there's been a dip in performance. A lot of the commentary from where I sit appears to be political, but I believe we need to depoliticize it so that we can actually find solutions to this challenge, because indeed it is the future of our children that is at stake here. Your quick thoughts on this?
No, thank you very much. Let me say good morning to our cherished viewers and to all of us here in the studio. Let me say anything that affects the education of our children is of much concern to me, because I believe sincerely that without education, I will not be privileged to be sitting where I am. I've come from a community where it was really difficult to get a child to get himself or herself focusing on education. And so I know what education has done for me. And I said I don't joke with education of my family or anybody who comes into a sort of a relationship with me. I try as much as possible to advise the person to take education more seriously. Unfortunately for me, in this particular WASI, I have my own son. I have two nephews and one niece all involved, so I was particularly interested in it. But let me say one thing, I am not surprised about the results. I'm not surprised in two ways. One, I think as a nation and as parents and guardians, we've been taken in by the modern trends and let me say the technical innovations we see in our life. And as such, our children are not focusing too much on what will make them, let me say, concentrate on their education. Social media and technology has become much more of interest to children than having time sitting down and reading. When we were growing up, we didn't have the benefit of technology. So you have to go to the library, search for the books, and read them. Today, you see children spending more time on tablets, on phones, and on what they call the play boxes, instead of their books. And technology has made it possible. Sometimes when you even query them about what they are doing, they tell you they are reading. What are they doing? Reading, e-book. So you wouldn't really know whether they are reading, truly they are reading, or they are watching something which is irrelevant and inappropriate. When we're doing the manifesto before the elections, we had the education, the people, professionals, the technical people in the education sector telling us that one of the things we must look at critically is how to deconcentrate, focus on tablets and social media and the rest, because it's making the children lazy. They are not able to really articulate their own intelligence and God-given intellectual capabilities. Two, they said that we should focus more on the foundation, the basic school, and make sure that the children get a grounding, because at that level, there's not too much emphasis on electronic means of teaching, so that the children get a grounding and a sort of foundation they need to be able to grow. And they didn't mince words in telling us that they think that there has been poor governmental interference in the management of education in the past. That is when I got to know, well, they said it, and I even asked a question why they didn't say it. They said, well, the environment at the time was not conducive for people to openly criticize what government is doing with education. They thought that government's desire to make the successes or the achievement of the free SHS policy become so, let me say, appealing to Ghanaians, and make government undertake certain decisions as far as education is concerned, and which has affected the children. For example, they mentioned the issue of past questions.
Honorable, who are they?
I mean, education professionals who were consulted when we were writing the manifesto.
Right.
And they said those things do not make the children prepare themselves well to understand the various formula and the various principles underpinning certain questions. You understand? Because they fully focus on this sort of question, how to answer it. You know? So as soon as the question is tinkered with in a bit, it gets the children confused. And talking to somebody just 3 days today, he said that is what affected most of the people who, the children who wrote this exam, especially in commerce. He said that there has been some system of questioning that has been there all the time, and the way it's been answered.
Yeah.
In this particular exam, the question was tinkered with a bit, and the way to answer it was also tinkered with. But because they were used to that type of, I think they all used the old thing, and most students failed in that paper. Only those who were a bit on their own were those who really excelled. And he made mention of 3 questions. I didn't see the question paper, so I thought it was, but he was being blunt in telling me what happened. The other issue has to do with the fact that he thinks that the way we are running the schools now is problematic. And I've had that notion for some time now. Look, you see, these fingers are not equal.
True.
So you can't have all education institutions being equal.
True.
I admire Educhum, but I've had this exchange with him in Parliament before, not in the, let me say, in a friendly manner. I told him his desire to make every school opened and accessible for everybody is wrong. The whole world, we have levels in every aspect. It is your performance that will take you up. So create the environment of competition so that the poor child, even in a small village in the northern region, by his performance, can go to Mfanspem.
Yeah.
Don't say because you want to break down the exclusivity of Mfanspem, then anybody is going to Mfanspem. When you do that, you end up sending certain children to Mfanspem who will find the environment a bit more overwhelming.
Yeah.
Timidity will set in, and they will not be able to break out of that shell after the time they leave the school.
Sure.
2, what you are doing is that you are bringing a certain level of students to come into an environment where the level, the general level there is also a bit high.
Above them. Yeah.
So when you do that, but then if you have the old system, Prempe is Prempe, Opokwari is Opokwari, Mfanspem is Mfanspem. We know the children, we know those who go there. Then you build up those schools under that level to also bring, because slowly certain schools that hitherto people didn't think about are building up. And today I can tell you, Nana, according to the experts, some of the best schools are not in Mfanspem.
Okay.
They are not Opokwari. I was surprised when I wanted a school for my son. An educationist told me, take him to Sunyani St. James Seminary.
St. James, yeah.
I took my son to St. James. I was surprised I met the Asante Hine's son there. So they were classmates.
Right.
The managing director of EcoBank, his son, was there. They said, is it Wenchi Adventist Girls? One of the best girls' schools. Manfi Methodist Girls.
Yeah.
They've even won international awards. So it is not build up. Let the community get involved. Let the people get involved and build up those schools.
Yeah.
And very soon, they also, because Infanspin did not become Infanspin overnight. Opokuwari did not become Opokuwari overnight.
Yeah.
So when it is your desire that within a short time, you want to dilute that every status of Infanspin or Opokuwari,
which has been built over the
years.
years.
You can't do it. And it creates that sort of, so when you go to Infanspin now and you take Infanspin results, you take Opokuwari results, you do analysis, you will know those children who did well in the WASI have had some foundation that befit the status and the level of Infanspin or Opokuwari or Presec Legon. And those who perform poorly in those schools are those who, through because of this system, were just lumped onto the school. It is not possible. There were people who, in the past, there were people who went to Infanspin school, O-level, but could not pass to be in Infanspin school for A-level. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that. It's a system. Allow the system to be able to build itself with good intentioned policies. But you can't just get up and all of a sudden say, we don't want any school to be seen as grade 1 school or grade, so we are going to take children who don't even perform. So somebody gets 20 and you send it to Infanspin school. You understand? It is not possible. And all these are the reasons why the Minister for Education, Narendra Disu, has been coming out with these policies. You see, in the budget, talk about upgrading certain number of schools, grade 1 schools, certain number of grade 2 schools, so that you build them systematically. After a period, you will see that all the schools will become attractive, all the schools will be competent enough to compete with one another. We talk about perfect competition, and I think it is not only in economics we should talk about perfect competition. Even in the media, it depends on how your programming and your this and that will make you become attractive to the listener. So I think he may have had a good intention, but I think that we didn't, and that has been the. I will urge that because some of the children who will be affected were very brilliant children, very, very brilliant children, and it's affected them morally, psychologically. All these children. Yesterday, I talked to my niece, and she has gone to Central University to look for admission for the daughter. I said, why? Get the daughter to apply. He said, oh, she didn't perform too well in maths. And I said, she's not sure. She wants to do computer science at all costs, and she's not sure with the performance in maths she will get a computer science, so I want to take her to a private school. I said, have you considered the fees? Will you be able to afford? And I had to try to let her understand that, look, if computer science is what she's dreaming about, she should go to Legon, do the course she will be offered, and then after that, after the first degree, she can move into the area of computer science and still perform. It should not limit herself and start to say, oh, then she's going to write again. I said, that 1 year you are going to write again. If you go to university, you'll be able to do more, because the girl was a brilliant girl. What even hurts her more is the fact that those children she was really helping with their studies in that subject perform better than her.
Wow.
So this whole thing, I think we must look at it again.
Sure.
I read the Ghana Education Service statement, and I think they were right. As part of government, I will urge my colleague, the minister, to focus and to continue with the reforms that are embedded in the manifesto. Already, I'm happy that as soon as we assume power, the first thing the president looked at was the educational reform session, which has even tweeted the manifesto, the section on education on the manifesto. And I think the issues that came up from Edu Watch and all these NGOs within the education sector should be taken seriously. I am particularly happy that government is focusing on the basic level and even pre-basic level, because we need to have strong foundation for our children. Some of us, if we have not had that foundation, warriors. There's one issue that I also want to look at. And please forgive me if I sound a bit, let me say, conservative. I think we're joking with the future of our children, in the sense that everybody, I don't know when that policy decided I don't know under which government we decided that exercising strict disciplinary controls in schools are torturous and harassment, and also, I don't know, child abuse. Sitting here, I was a truant. I was really, really a very difficult child. It was the way my teachers handled me in primary school that changed me. I was beaten. I was lashed. I was told you can't do this. When you do this, you'll be beaten, you'll be punished for it. I don't remember once I said it here. I was a bit, I don't know whether it was because of the sort of difficult childhood I got. And so in class, I don't want anyone to disturb me. And there was a time this lady came and pulled my book. I got so angry. I slapped her. The teacher, I was punished, seriously. I was given lashes, and I was made to wash the girls' toilet for 1 month. At the back, I was in Anglican Primary School. For 1 month. And the difficult thing is that when I finish washing, the girls will come and pee. They will go and wash again. And the teacher, Mr. Comey, told me, I'm punishing you because I want you to understand that a man or a guy don't hate a girl.
Never.
From that time. From that time. Even my own daughters, I can't. Because, and I have a scar of the cane. And it keep on reminding me. It is, I say, corporal punishment, excessive corporal punishment, yes, it's not ideal. But even when I was in infant swim school, even we sixth formers were lashed. The board will not allow you to misbehave. Mr. Don't you will not allow you to misbehave. Today, the environment is the reverse. You see children intimidating teachers.
And it's breeding a lot of indiscipline in our
Bro,
schools.
recently, there was a nasty incident in Odogono Secondary School where a group of students from Kaswa, someplace in Kaswa, invaded the school with their friends on motorbikes, beat up the teachers in the school because one of the teachers had beaten a student or somebody from another school who came to fight a student. And it nearly caused a whole commotion within the community. And I asked myself, when did we reach this stage where students will go out and hire, I don't know the word I want to use, so to come and beat up their tutors and security men on campus. The government will say, oh, here. Who born dog? Those days, you see, it was said that the school environment was intimidating for people who don't belong to the to that environment. So it was difficult. And the only time students get opportunity to misbehave is when we go to Interco. Because if you even don't take exit, you'll be beaten.
Yeah, true.
You'll be lashed. And so discipline was there. You have to go to prep at this time. You have to be behind your books at this time. Now it is no. The environment has changed. It's because the teachers are scared to punish truant children. They are scared to talk about them because they don't know how they will be treated.
True.
And I think it is, as a parent and as somebody who has lived the years, I'm not saying we should go back and treat the school children like, excuse my language, animals. But I think that some level of discipline must be exercised. There's no need to reinvent the wheel, but we must remodel it.
Very well.
Remodel it in such a way that children will feel that they are in a different environment from their own. And as such, in this environment, certain limitations are put on you. You cannot do whatever you want. And when you do them, when you go against them, there are penalties that you will suffer.
True.
I think that it will make our children a bit more serious, and it will change the environment of our schools and let academic work become the focus of our children, and not this new system where children go to school because they just want to go to school. It's a worry.
Right. Very well. Honorable, thank you. Elvis Dakun, good morning. Elvis is the editor of the News Center newspaper, newscenter.com. We smuggled in the Wasi, so I'll pick your thoughts briefly on the performance this year.
It's not about smuggled. It's the most important subject to discuss. Why this is smuggled? Before I come to the subject, let me emphasize what Honorable has just said.
On the discipline.
I tell you,
yeah,
it's the worst thing that is happening to us, and nobody wants to talk about it. And the people come and talk about human rights. That nonsense thing sometimes we do, I don't understand it. A child is going wayward. And when the child is being disciplined, and somebody comes and says it's against the child's human rights, how can correcting a child from wrongdoing be against human rights?
When the Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child.
So human rights is that allow the child to misbehave and go wayward.
Yeah.
That is the explanation we give to human rights, especially when it comes to correcting children. And I say, how can you say a child who the law even says that is too young, not capable of taking a decision for him or herself until 18, and therefore until 18, every decision of a child needs to be taken on his or her behalf by the parent. By the parent who is supposed to sign all legal documents for that child. You are saying that he has no right to correct the child when the child is going wrong. It's one of the most annoying things that is happening in this country, and nobody wants to talk about it. And then once you talk about it, say human rights. Please, it's not everything that they bring us to human rights, not human rights. We should be able to let people know that this has nothing to do with human rights. Correcting a child and making the child go the right way has nothing to do with human rights.
Are there different forms of correcting the child?
There are different forms, but each of them is complementary. As Honorable has said, me, it got the time I stopped schooling, my mother didn't know. Because my father was in a shaman, I am in Tongo with my mother. My mother wakes up in the morning, goes to the farm, leaves food, and say, Elvis, dress and go to school. I say, yes. And then when she's gone, I eat the food, then I go enjoy boys, we go to the river to go and fish. For like 2 years, my mother didn't know that I wasn't going to school.
What?
So one day a teacher saw my mother say, why is Elvis not coming to school? I said, what? Elvis doesn't come to school. Say, yeah, I stopped school long time. Say, every day I'm going to I leave Elvis food and say you come to school. And Elvis will come. And my mother came home. That day I felt it.
Yeah.
She beat me very well. She said, okay, you are a boy, I can't take care of it. She bundled me, packed my bags, put me in the car, come and dump me at my father's place in Asham and say, you will not come to me again for the rest of your life. If I see you again, you see what I will do to you. Okay? My father sent me back to go and stay with his mother. It's only 2 towns away from my mother. Okay? But I could never even step in my mother's place because of the warning she gave me. Look, on Mondays, our teachers will be giving us lashes on campus. Sometimes the parents have to come and find out what is happening. Okay? Because there were a lot of truants among us.
Yeah.
Okay? Thursday is a market day. And Friday is a market day at Germany. Most of the boys and girls will run to go and look for some small money.
Yeah.
You will be in the market. The headmaster will send the school prefect to come and tell you that you are not in school. You either report to school or Monday when you come, Kate is waiting for you. You either run away from the market and go to the school, or on Monday, you will be lashed very well. We were lashed. Headmaster, some of the teachers, John Nimo, Atipo, Akrasi.
Some of them are actually known for caning.
I'm telling you, and the headmaster, Denucci, these people, when they get you, the way they will lash you, they go beyond the classroom. On weekends, on weekends, they visit our homes and ask our parents whether we are behaving well at home or not.
Yeah.
So if they come and your parents complain that you're being a truant, that alone is reason for lashing on Monday.
On Monday.
Because they went rounds and they say, your parents says you are being truant. They will lash you.
Yeah.
So parents and teachers were coordinating to make sure that we do not go wayward. Because you know that when you misbehave in the house, even if your grandmother or if you are still a grandmother can't beat you, Monday you are finished. We had electricity in town, but our school headmaster says you are not to leave your home after 7 p.m. So if you say you have been sent by your parent, you have to carry a lantern to prove that you have been sent. If you are caught in town without a lantern, it means that nobody sent you. You will be lashed Monday in school. That is how some of us were able to get to where we are. Because as kids, we say things that we think that, oh, it's normal. But it's a childish mindset.
Yeah.
We are only doing things for the fun of it. We are only doing things because we are trying. But some of the things we do for trying is just leading us astray. It's just leading us astray. And until we are corrected, we will not even know that we are going astray because we are kids. So when I hear people make the argument that kids should not be corrected, kids should not be lashed, look, some of us is lashing that change us. Without lashing, we will not change. Because if you come and call me, go and face the corner, that is what parents do. Yeah, today you face the corner. What's the meaning of facing the corner?
You are grounded.
You are grounded. Today you can't leave your room. And the child is on iPad and having
I'll seize your tablet.
Please, look. Let's understand that as young people, children, we all know that they don't have the capacity to know that what I'm doing is likely to lead me into distraction.
Yeah.
That is why when juvenile even offend, we don't send them to prison, we send them to correctional centers.
Yeah.
Because it's globally understood that children, their brains have not developed to a point where they can know that this thing has consequences or that. So if we are taking care of children and we cannot collaborate with parents to do things, and we think that the best thing is now to rather be antagonistic to teachers, that is what happens. In my school in Parliament, Uganda, I told you all this have happened. With this nonsense of beating children's human rights and the rest, now parents are able to even organize people to go and beat up teachers for correcting their children in the school. Parents who organize people that my child has come to complain to me that a teacher has lashed him or her in school, and they will go and beat up the teacher. What kind of system are we talking about here? I think that as a nation we must put our foot down. Until a child is 18 years, he must be under full correction and control of both parents, teachers, and everybody. You live in a village and an elder see you do something, will whip you. Yeah. And when it brings you home and come and tell your parents, you're going to give you another one. And then you know that there's nowhere to hide. Because when anybody is in town, the person has the right to correct you.
True.
And if you make a mistake and come and complain to your parents that this man has lashed me, and they found out what you did, you are even dead in the house. That is how we all realize that, no, we are kids and we are not allowed to do certain things.
Yeah.
But today,
we've even lost that communal way of living, where everyone's child is another person's child. We've lost it.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
And because of this thing called
Human rights.
labeling everything human rights. How can correcting a child that can't think maturely, and if the child is going wayward, and somebody is trying to correct the child and say you can't go that way because it won't help you in the future, and then we interpret it to me a human right abuse. How do we do that?
Brighter Pierre will not be happy with.
No.
Will not be happy with the two of us this morning.
Child Rights International.
This is the reality we are facing. You see, and this is why we have subjected ourselves to everything that comes from the West. This nonsense of human rights for everything must stop. When I was in the village, sometime in the morning I have to wake up and go and make firewood to the house before I go to school. Yeah. Sometimes when I close from school, my grandmother will take the food to the farm. Because I leave the food at home. When I eat, I'm going to play football. I'm not going. So you take the food to the house, to the farm, and leave a message. And when you come, your food is in the farm. Because when you go, and you go to the farm, you carry cassava or you carry firewood or something to the house.
Yeah.
Nobody called it child abuse, child labor. Today, somebody comes and say, when a child carries small load on the head, it's child labor. When a child is carrying a bucket of water, it is child labor. When a child accompanies the parents to the farm, it's child labor. How did we get here? This is how we learned how to farm from our parents. Because you go to the farm, when it's the planting of maize, you are part of the planting of the maize. So you are even learning agriculture from that young age. Because when you grew up in the village, in my area, your most option is farming. So you start learning it as a kid by going to the farm with your parents. Know that this is how you plant maize, this is how you plant cassava, this is how you weed, this is how you protect this one. But now somebody is telling us that you don't let
this should be done on days the child is not going to school. on days the child is not going to school.
Yes,
because it's
on the days you didn't go to school, when you close, you go to the
exactly.
farm.
So it should not be a replacement for the child's
Now they say
education.
it's called child labor. So a cocoa farmer going to the farm with the child is child labor. We have to let people know that not everything from the West is good for us. I'm so passionate. I'm happy Honorable mentioned this. Children must be corrected. If not, I'm telling you, in the next 10, 15 years, we'll have a society where there is so much waywardness. We are losing our values and everything under the guise of something called human rights.
Very well.
This does not qualify as human rights. They say the WAEC results. I always say that people don't take time to analyze the results when it comes. I do because there are a lot of hidden things in the report that if you don't analyze very well, you would think that something untoward has happened. But for me, when I do the analysis, I don't really see much change. See, when you see WAEC results for every year, when they release results, they will not tell you that they are withholding maybe 200,000 individual results. They will just tell you that, results of maybe 100 schools are being withheld. People don't take a look at the number. So what I do is, how many people actually candidates start for the exams? I take that number. How many of the results they have cancelled? I put it down there. Then I add the results they released for A1 to A6, D7, E8, and F9, and I put it together. When you do that for each subject, you realize there's a vast difference between the total number that took the exams and the results
that have been released.
Then you can now know the number of subject papers that are being held for each paper.
Right.
When you do that and you look at it, you realize that what happened this year, it's not anything much different for anybody to be complaining about. But why I could not give you all these details? Let me give you an example of social studies. Social studies used to hold a lot of the results like all the papers. This year, what happened to social studies? They've released almost the entire results of social studies. They released almost the entire results because they said they've cancelled about 6,000 results. And then the only results cancelled plus not released is only 10,000. So it means that the results for social studies that has not been released is less than 5,000. But in previous social studies, go and check, they withheld results over 30, 40,000 for social study at the time the result is released.
Right.
So people will think that there's some massive failure in social studies. No, it's because almost the entire results of social study has been released. If they have withheld 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 of social studies results, the pass rate will not be that low and everybody will be complaining. So people have not paid attention to that. Compared to mathematics, with mathematics alone, they are withholding 73,000 results. They are withholding 73,000 results for core mathematics. Core mathematics. They are withholding 73,000 results. So if you don't take your time subject by subject and do the analysis, you will not recognize where the issues are. And then you think that it is some massive failure. The social studies issue is not a massive failure. It's not a massive failure. If you go to the past 10 years, you look at every result WAEC has released, they withhold. In fact, last year, I think they withheld over 200,000 subject results. But this year, the total number of subject results withheld is about 167,000. So it means that this year they released more results than last year. But the number who even took the paper this year are more than last year's numbers. So if you do a comparative analysis of the figures, it is not that something really significant has happened. But because the way they put the statistics, if you don't take your time to study it, you'll be thinking that, oh, this year the children have failed significantly. It is not true. Anybody can go and pick last year's figures and do the analysis and say, see the number of results that were withheld last year compared to the number of results that have been withheld and cancelled this year. And then do the analysis and extrapolate that last year, those who even took the paper, the numbers were less than the numbers that took the paper this year. And compare. You realize that really there's not much that has happened that is different. So let's not be, I've always been saying that somebody needs to do a second work on WAEC. A student pass elective mathematics but fails core mathematics. You ask yourself, how? How does the student pass elective maths, which is more difficult, and fails core mathematics? You ask yourself, is it that there's a marking error somewhere? Nobody checks WAEC papers for marking errors. And I think that's about time we take a second look at WAEC that after they are done, there should be some independent verification of work that has been done.
Perhaps we can do some sampling.
Because I believe that a lot of the papers are not marked well. They will go to mark. Sometimes the person is not even in the right frame of mind. Somebody even goes and add the wrong marks. No, somebody, look, when I completed GID, My name was put on the board as I'm referred in mass communication. Mass communication, actually, I taught a lot of my colleagues because I had a very good understanding. They all passed. So I was home, the phone calls to everyone. Hey, you, how do you feel? How do you feel? People were calling me. Are you sure the results have been pasted on the board? When I came for and I said, my name is Darrell, but it's not possible. I will challenge the results. Hey, they say if you go and challenge, only next year, before you can graduate, they will then bring external examiners to come in. I said, don't worry. I said, I'll go and challenge it. Then I went to challenge the registrar. When they brought it, the lecturer himself, when I called him, said, it's not possible. You can't fail my subject. Because you can't fail my subject. Do you know what happened? The lecturer gave the right marks. The registrar added the numbers, decided to ignore one mark and go and pick one and put only one there to say I failed. So when I checked and then I came to tell them that if you fail any subject, go and check. More than 10-15 people went to check and they didn't fail. It's the registrar who just added wrong marks and gave people wrong marks. I think WAEC gives a lot of students wrong grades when they are doing the additions. I think they give students a lot of wrong grades. And I think that's about time somebody calls for a review. A review of what WAEC has done, where a team will be set up to sit and say, let's review mathematics, all the papers that have been marked. I am sure and I believe that they'll find a lot of errors in addition of marks and things. And I think that until we do that, we'll just be putting children through a lot of trauma. What we are doing, people discuss failure as if it is something that is joy.
And at this level, you don't have the opportunity for a remarking.
You don't know, even if you want to call for remark in WAEC, what is the process? Somebody called me and said, I just gave the WAEC, somebody I know that they should call them and ask them, but I don't even know the process of remarking in WAEC. These are things we should bring. I believe WAEC has been failing a lot of students wrongly. I am of the view that WAEC has been failing a lot of students wrongly. Somebody passed elective science, all the 3 science in the electives, and they said the person has failed core science. And I said, all the things they call science, they are in elective science. How the person pass all the 3? And
you pass physics, biology, chemistry,
and then the core science,
integrated science.
And the person fails. And I said, but who comes up with this idea that somebody who has passed all this will fail core science? And these are the reasons I believe that there's a lot of wrong going on in WAEC's marking scheme. When they mark, the people who add the marks, I believe that some people are adding wrong marks and they are giving people wrong grades. Some of them may even interchange people's grades for other people. That's why I believe that we need to do a total overhaul and review of WAEC's work. And you see, this time it can easily be done with AI and the rest. We can have systems that every question paper can just be scanned or marked, answer sheet can just be marked, scanned, and things can be done. And I can tell you, it could review because a lot of people I believe have been feel wrongly. See, when people talk about the WASI and the rest, and we talk as if the students are not brilliant. All these kids that we even say are failed masters, they are very brilliant children. They are very brilliant children. They have no reason to fail, but the system sometimes can fail you in certain ways. That's why I'm calling for a total review of WAEC.
All right, thank you.
I want to add a little to what Elvis has said. You see, if we want to improve systems, we take very, let me say, drastic decisions to improve, like what he's saying. Looking at what has happened in the past, why is it that today a lot of these things are happening? Is it the markers? Is it the way that the papers are marked? The way the results are compiled? We should go beyond it. We shouldn't just look at the surface. People have failed. They have opportunity to write again and all. It is. I don't think we sometimes we destroy the life of certain children because it's not every child that will be able to, accept this and live with it. So, like he's saying, I think we must now look at if even at the university level, opportunities are given for people for remarking. At this level, what do we do? When such situations, when we are convinced that we don't believe too many people have failed this subject the way they are talking about, because like he's saying, how can they pass elective maths and then fail core maths?
There should be an avenue to challenge the results.
These are the things I want us to be looking at critically, so that we'll be able to. And then when it happens that way, what opportunities are there for them to be able to get a sort of relief? Assuming there is a remarking, and we see that it was the examiner who made a mistake or the person who compiled the result that made a mistake.
Yeah,
what is the avenue for
relief? Sometimes they
relief?
may not even be remarking because once they pull the answer sheet, they may think that, oh, it is the addition.
Yes.
That there was a mistake and that the child has actually passed the paper. And these are simple things that can easily be done. And as I say, let's start from somebody who had done maths, passed all the elective mathematics and fails core maths. Let's start somebody who did science, pass all the three and is failing course. Those are easy ones that we can easily pull out.
Yeah.
And say, let's see what has happened. And once we identify the role, you realize that to cut across all the fields, and then we can resolve this issue. How do you explain that continuous assessment is supposed to give you 40%, and WAEC is supposed to give you how much? 60%. And then maybe somebody gets 30% in continuous assessment. Are you telling me the person could not get 20 to 25 in all the rest of them to get 55 to pass, and unless the person so sometimes
as a lecturer I can say that sometimes it's possible.
No, it is possible, but it's not this huge number.
The generic nature of it.
That is the point. It's possible in some individual cases, but not in this huge number.
That we are
mathematics 220,000 could not get A1 to C6.
It's not possible.
Can you believe A1 to C6?
I don't think that is possible. I was alarmed myself.
220,000
yes.
could not make mathematics.
Need to re-examine
what are they talking about? So I don't know why government or nobody is asking.
60%
I'm
of the
telling
people
you,
who wrote.
nobody is asking that. Hey, please no. This thing there might be problems somewhere. We know there are bad students in the system, but nobody can convince me that these huge numbers we have been seeing over the past 10 years is the reality. A lot is going on in the WAEC systems that are not. And fraudsters have taken advantage. Now they create all kinds of websites, and they say we can upgrade your results for you.
How?
And they collect money from people. If you want to check from the public institutions, when they go and do verification, a lot of the students bring A1s and they go there, they see C7.
But Nana, one thing I also want to talk about is the issue of more practice.
More practices, yeah.
It's becoming too alarming.
Yeah.
Seriously, because our time, it was not easy for somebody. Unless some children went to the exam hall with their phone.
Yeah, with mobile phone. Yes.
Our time, the only way you see some people writing the answers on their ties. How many answers can you write on your ties?
Yeah.
You understand? It was not easy for people to be engaged in a more practice during those days. It's not easy because of the way we didn't have gadgets. We didn't have these things.
You said how many subjects were you people studying? Today, a child is supposed to have about 12 subjects, 13 subjects. And then,
I think that
when
is
the
also
examination time is every day that it's not like any other day.
It's back to back.
It's back to back. They are writing exam. How can a 17, 15, 16-year-old you say you should study 13 subjects?
At O level.
What are you talking about?
O level, 10 subjects. I believe 10 or so, and then we exam on 8.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then at the A level it reduces.
Yes. A level is 6, and then you examine on 3.
You understand it? But this one I say a child which is, and by the time you get to A level, you are a mature, this 15 and 16-year-olds.
Yes.
And then 15 and 16-year-olds should study 13 subjects and write a back-to-back examination in a week or two and complete. There's a lot of things in the system that the people who are trying to review education should look at.
Very well.
If you are at the university, you are asked to write a back-to-back examination. You complain.
And so do you know what the children do now? And that's one of the things I fear most for them.
True poor person.
No, they are going to school and you see them carrying loads.
Loads. Some of them are getting spinal issues.
Loads, because 13 subjects a day, and it's carrying
loaded all these textbooks.
No. And the textbooks are heavy. Somebody should sit and say, children don't need 13 subjects in Look, if it is the person, you see, we need to restructure this colonial education system is not helping us. Let's restructure our entire educational system. The person can speak some English, can write some English, but the person wants to be a musician, wants to be an artist. You see, unless the person passes mathematics.
But our time we're doing music.
How does the person need mathematics to do music?
Oh, you need mathematics.
You have to calculate the keys.
Yes. You need it. You need it.
Look, you see, this is the problem we have. The person who has gone to learn, we say wabong, and they are going to learn mechanic, can fix your car. And some people who invest in a mechanical engineer can fix the car. We should begin to look at education and knowledge from a different point of view. I always say my cousin, when he finished GSS, we said there's nothing we can do about it. We don't know what to do because grades were so bad. We were thinking about it, and he came back and said he's found out that somebody from our hometown works at Honda, and they say Honda, they train people as certified Honda mechanics. He will not want to go and learn mechanic by the roadside, but he wants us to take him to Honda to go and learn and be certified. Go and see the shop he has at Nungwa right now. He learned that, but yes, we say his brain is dead. He can't learn anything. He can't do anything.
Because he didn't do well.
Because he didn't do well academically. He's learned how to fix a complex car like Honda. Look at Honda and how complex it is. He's learned how to fix it. One of the best mechanics, certified. If people come to Honda with small problem and they are from that, they refer them to him. Go and see the shop he owns. Go and see the life he's living. He's far better of all of us who have been to school. But if somebody will think that because he didn't pass GSS, we think that we have to begin to identify people. You see, education is to help identify your talent and help you develop it. But right now, education doesn't help you identify talent. It compels you to learn things that is not even part of your talent. And we say, by how much you must do it.
Elvis, thank you.
The review needs to be broad. What we are doing is just like we are not doing any review about education.
Thank you.
We
Thank
need
you,
to
Elvis.
change the system.
Let me take a few quick messages. This one says, good morning. The poor performance of SHS students this year is as a result of indiscipline and mass promotion. As we discuss the state of education in Ghana, I suggest we hear from district education directors. They are on the grounds, aware of the challenges like teacher shortages and poor infrastructure. Let's get them on board to share insights and drive solutions. Prince from Elembele, send that one in. Honorable, there's a question for you. He's asking, how difficult is it to go back to our O and A levels?
That is a big question. That's a big question. Let me be frank with you. I was one of the people who was against the change from O level, A level to this JHS, SHS thing. And well, it's history now. It's another phase of our life as a country. I don't think we will have to go back. And because when we do that, we also disrupt the system. You remember between President Kufuor and President Mills?
3 years,
there
4
was
years.
3 years, 4 years, this thing. And it was...
That was not about the curriculum, it's about the number of years.
Yes,
It's not about the problem.
Yes.
It's about...
So,
it's about
so I think, you see, when we were moving from JHS to SHS, we were thinking, all that people were talking about was the number of years.
That's all.
Yeah.
We're not looking at the quality of
No.
education.
Yeah.
So I
The
think
curriculum
that,
itself.
you see, look, by the time you finish sixth form, this brain has been activated in such a manner that you can do proper analysis and be able to drive. But today, sometimes you talk to someone that you can say that these people are still babies.
Yeah.
They are level because all that they think about is
But truth is that they have not matured. 50 years is finished JSS.
Yes,
60 years is finished. You can't finish A levels at 50
At
or
age,
16.
yeah.
We must also admit that. And the child is finishing 15, 16 is finished A level. You are beyond 20 before you are finishing A level.
You know,
Yeah.
it's one of the things I analyze as part of the problems we have with sports development. In the olden days, you go to school up to Form 4. I was lucky. I was one of the people who went to preparatory school and then so went to secondary school after stage 6. But even that one, when you go to secondary school, 5 years. So if you have a sports talent, over 5 years, it's nurtured.
It's well developed.
When you get to 6 from 2 years, by that time you were getting a lot of the good sportsmen from the secondary schools and the universities.
Yeah. Now 3 years.
Now 3 years. And in 3 years, this time they don't do all the sporting disciplines in the year. So this year you do athletics. Next year you do football. The following year, that third year you are going to write your exams. You won't have time for sports.
For sports. Yeah.
So from after SHS, they are finished. Their sports, this thing is gone. And even when it is there, it's not nurtured, it's not developed in a manner that to make the person be able to be competitive at that level. So
and the question you asked, a lot of Ghanaians now are shifting their children to A and O levels in the international schools.
International schools.
So it's not that it's not something we cannot re-adopt because now a lot of parents have realized that if the person finishes secondary school, it's like the person is not has no value.
My daughter in medical school in Cape Coast,
you understand it?
Wrote the A level.
Exactly. So now people are shifting. You talk to people, no, my children will not do this. I'm shifting them to ON. So there are schools in the system who are doing that. People are preferring them to this system. Why are they preferring them? Have we done any study to find out? So it's not that it's not possible. It is possible that today we sit down and say, no, it doesn't. Look, JSS and SS, Jerry Rawlings brought the best policy that every school must have a technical workshop where you learn carpentry, masonry, and the rest. After Jerry Rawlings, who cared about the policy? I've always said that we have never done any proper review of what Jerry Rawlings' government intended for this GSS and SS.
That was the Professor Jangba policy.
We didn't do any proper review of that policy. I knew people who went in our village. By the time we finished school, they knew a little about carpentry. They knew about masonry. They are using it to work and make a living up to today. They didn't go to secondary school. The few that they learned in the school, that this is a hacksaw, this is how to cut, this is do. They are working. So that policy Jerry Rawlings brought and said, let's give every GSS a workshop with practical tools and things. After Jerry Rawlings,
I think Rawlings even made technical drawing compulsory.
Exactly, technical skills and technical drawing.
Yes,
today, the ones that are technical, that the child by the time he finish GSS or SS, the person has something. We have thrown them away. Where are the workshops in the GSS?
They don't do the technical drawing anymore.
There are no workshops. They do it on paper.
There
are no workshops in the schools anymore. There are no tools in any school. But the whole agenda was that was how we wanted to take education, that theory was not going to help us. So let's do more of practical things that the children, if you do technical skills and you go to secondary school and continue, by the time you finish secondary school, you are a perfect electrician, you are a perfect
hands-on.
You understand it?
Even when we talk about Greek, today we are talking about youth not interested in Greek. But Greek is no more taught as a subject in secondary school. When I was in secondary school, I had my own garden.
No, in fact, the whole school has a school garden.
I have mates who were actually doing Greek in school.
No, in fact, the whole
secondary
school
level.
I did Greek.
As far as in my village in Parliament, small community, we have a whole school garden. That is where we go to learn Greek. When it is practical agriculture, the whole class moves to the place. When it is how to apply fertilizer, you are shown how to apply fertilizer. You are shown how to prune something. Practically, you are holding the tools and you are doing. That is how we learned Greek at JS, not secondary. Not secondary. JS. Can you imagine that?
Issues about
we continue to secondary school and complete
cross-pollination, cross-breeding, and all those things. We learned all those things.
It's practical. Well, Elvis, a number of people seem to agree with you this morning. This one says, good morning. I strongly agree with Elvis. I am a teacher in basic school. Students organize themselves to beat me up for punishing them to run 20 rounds around the school field.
Can you imagine? Running, which is an exercise. He's not beating the child. He said run around the school field.
They organize themselves to beat him up.
For indiscipline. Running, which is an exercise for the child. The parents have gone to organize to come and beat him up.
This one says, what Elvis is saying is the reality. If you have ever done script checking before, you appreciate his concerns. Matthew from Kumasi says, Elvis has made my day on the ship. So we need action from him. Okay. This one says, previous WASI results under the free SHS has been good, but the problem for this year, 2025, has been the lack of teacher motivation. This government has neglected teachers, hence the outcome. This is Ahmed from Nima.
How is it that?
This politicization.
What was the motivation?
Exactly.
No, what was the motivation and afraid that they have taken away from the teachers now? Is it some of this?
We try to do politics with some of
the real issues. We'll be politicking around the issue, and the main problem is there.
Aminu from Isawem says, it's obvious that something went wrong with the mass failure in mathematics and social studies. Let's wait for the technocrats to conduct a proper post-mortem and update the nation. Very well. These are some of the messages that have come in. You can also send yours in. Let us know what your thoughts are regarding this matter of WASI results as released by WAEC. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll continue with further discussions. Stay with us. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily on Channel One Television. We're having the news review segment, and we've had quite a passionate conversation about education in the country stemming from the WASI results released by WAEC. Let's now move to another, if you like, concerning issue. It's as though we've been given a New Year's gift ahead of the new year. Utility tariffs. The PURC has announced that electricity tariffs will go up by 9.86% and water is to go up 15.92% effective January 2026. Honorable Van der Poel, I'll start from you. We've seen TURC rejects and object. TUC, sorry, I beg your pardon. TUC objects to this. They're even asking that the 9% wage increase should come before they can even think about this utility tariff hike. Industry is also complaining that this hike will cripple industries. we're looking to create a conducive environment for private sector to thrive. How did we get here?
Well, let me say this. As a country, we accepted the fact that we want the regime of utility tariffs to be handled by PURC. So it became law. And I remember 2 years ago in Parliament, this issue came up. And then they said they want a particular percentage of increment. After discussions, it came to us in that the increment they are asking for was too big. And I said it must go through an annual, review so that they'll be able to reach what they are looking for. The only reason they cited for this is improvement in services. The only justifiable reason to me was improvement in services. Over this year, I've come to accept when I've gotten out of Parliament, by sitting down as a citizen looking at the issues. I've listened to their presentations. Truth be told, if we don't look at critically at the issues that are bordering on these services that we get from them, issues about galamsey, for example, the effect it's having on the production of water. Issue about galamsey, the effect it's having on the provision of electricity because of tampering with their high tension cables and all those things, because the galamsey is affecting even their what do you call it, their pylons and all those things. So whether we like it or not, galamsey as a disease is creating a cancerous situation for every sector of our life. And as such, we as citizens will bite the bullet, whether we like it or not, at the end of it all. It is costing Ghana Water so much today, maybe even 10 times what it was costing them a few years ago to be able to provide us with water. The same with electricity. Even though expansion and the affordability of water is high, we are expanding water services to most communities. And so the expansion is even not, let me say, supply is having a problem with the level of demand. With electricity, the same. Many more communities are springing up. Many more houses are being built. All these houses are wanting access to electricity. But we are not able to meet those demands because we are not able to have the sort of facilities that will extend electricity to those areas. We have electricity, but how do we extend electricity to those communities, to those people? Unless they are able to get the pylons, they are able to get the, what do you call it, all the necessary things they will need to extend electricity. So it is important. I agree. But I think to some extent that PURC should also consider the fact that when you go to the hospital and a medication is prescribed for you, you are given a dosage. Once, 3 times daily. They don't tell you to go and drink and even swallow the bottle in which the medication is put. You understand? Or swallow all the tablets and chew the paper. You are told take 2 in the morning, maybe 2 in the evening. So they must look at the condition in which we are in. Yes, we know they need this support. They need these monies to be able to provide us with services. But I think that if this 9% is for the year, they could stagger it. In maybe 3%, so that we will not.
For the year, it's for the first quarter.
First quarter, 9% for the first quarter. So the second quarter,
we have a quarterly adjustment. So every quarter is reduced. So this is just for the first 3 months of the year.
So that's what I'm saying, that they must look at it, because if for one quarter, 9% adjustment, 15% is extremely high. is extremely high. And I think that we must look at it again. I think that even though they are autonomous, they are independent body, it is about citizens of this country. And I would be against any attempt by government to absorb. Because those political decisions in the past have also hurt us. Because it end up leaving us with legacy debts. Because it ends up getting government to inject monies that is meant for other things to pay for this. And sometimes when government also absorb it, government doesn't pay. So these institutions accumulate debt.
Yeah.
No. So I think rather, if we are going to accept that 9%, we should look at how we can break it down into maybe 3%, 3%, 3% over a period so we can have it. But 9% just straight like that is a bit too high and is going to put a lot of stress on the ordinary Ghanaian. And I think that we must look at it again.
Very well. Elvis, tariffs, I am of the opinion that, in fact, realistically, we are not paying the right tariffs already. But could it be staggered, just as Honorable has mentioned, over the period, so that it eases the burden on everyone?
It's been staggered because it's a quarterly review, so it's already staggered. If they want to do an annual review, we'll be paying 50% for at a go.
That will be yearly.
So it's been staggered because it's been done on every quarter. See, that's why I hate when people do politics with certain things. Okay, when we do politics, it's painful because you see, we are not giving the room to public to understand the scale of what needs to be done for these services to become efficient, deliver efficient services, and then the rates they are charging can then come down. A lot of the monies we are paying also is just paying for inefficiencies because their systems are all old, bad, and they need to, as we speak, they are shutting down Wager today for an emergency repair. That emergency repair is about money. It's about money. See, the truth we must accept is that this water and electricity in this country, there's something drastic needs to be done to lift them up to the level of efficiency, and then we can then have rates at a certain level that we all accept. But the situation we put them in now is difficult. I bought a small piece of land at a place called Charity Hills. It's on the Fenya Road. If you know MF Estate, you go behind MF Estate in the bush there. The water flow once in every 2 weeks. Meanwhile, there's a pipe that is coming from Bong. So it's supposed to be like straight from the Volta Lake and the water should be flowing. But they get water once every 2 weeks. When they approach Ghana Water, they say, oh, demand has outstripped supply. And the expansions they need to do in their pumping system to be able to deliver more. The investment is not coming from government because government is 100% owner of the asset. Government is not investing because government doesn't have the money to invest. So they have to be rationing water. This is Tema. And water is being rationed. And it will flow once in 2 weeks. So you can imagine in other places that are even more rural, they may get water like once in a month. I've always said the dam super, it's like we are lucky because of the Wager Dam. It's like water really hardly goes off.
Teshi desalination plant has been shut down.
It's because, let's not even go there. I don't want to even talk about that plant. Because there were so much things that happened to that plant that shouldn't have happened. That's what I'm saying. So, see, when we lay bare the realities of these situations, and then we make the Ghanaian understand that, look, if we are able to swallow this bitter pill within this period, and we're able to retool and make these institutions very effective, then their cost will go down. ECG, the last time I checked, their losses, technical and commercial losses, is about 30%. 30% in today's terms, if you want to do their rate, it may be like $400 or $500 million a year that they are losing out of inefficiency. Technical, because a lot of the equipment needs to be replaced by the government, which owns it not investing. And commercial, because first of all, one, poor planning. So you go to settlements and there are 20 structures somewhere and people just pull the power anyhow. It's difficult even to trace which power is going and where power is not going. So people are stealing power. They themselves, because the power, the transformers and the rest they are using are old, they lose some of the power along the transmission and all that. If you run a utility system, you're recording 30% losses. There's no way that any tariff you give them will be enough. You understand it? So until they tell us that, look, Ghanaians, this is what we have to do. That's why we have to take the politics out. It helps. People are questioning because the NDC said they were coming to reduce electricity bills as part of 24-hour economy. They made a promise knowing very right it's not possible. So the Ghanaians said, but you are the one promise that you come and reduce. Why are you not increasing it? That's what I said. When there are things.
It's not genetic ink.
It
is those institutions.
I know it's not being reduced. It's not being reduced for anybody. Honorable. Let's be realistic. No. And it is not possible to go and reduce for anybody for 24 hours because the thing itself is already hanging on a thread with debt. You understand it? And the equipment that are there needs to be replaced. Money is not coming to replace. So you see, we should be able to take the bull by the horn and say, okay, government is not having money to retool this thing. The workers there are some of the best people you can find in West Africa. Ghana's utility workers. In the whole of West Africa, our engineers are some of the best. So we have the people. It's about investment in the system to lift them up to the levels where things will be done properly. We live in a system where assemblies sit down, look aloof, and people build anyhow. And if they want utilities, now they are passing into all kinds of illegalities. Well, we don't have a system where assembly says, if this land is to be constructed into a residential area, nobody can do that until we bring in water, electricity, and then they tap it in ways that people cannot do illegal connections. You understand it? They tap it in a way that illegal connections cannot be done. They won't do that. You understand? So we have a lot of issues in the system. So I have been thinking that, look, we've done Get Fund for Education, it's working. We've done NHIS, we put a certain amount that we share.
Yeah.
If you ask me, to properly rescue these two services, I recommend that we allocate at least 1% of total revenue each year, like we've done for dedicated to ECG and 1% for ECG, 1% for Ghana Water. And give ourselves that for the next 10 years, every year we'll give 1%. What we want to do is to replace all the inefficient equipment in the system, make the service active. We are using our own taxpayers' money to make them very efficient. When they become very efficient and then now their tariffs can drop. Now the benefit comes to us, the Ghanaians. Because when it's efficient and they reduce their technical losses, then they can reduce your tariffs for you. But when the losses are mounting, it is the same government debt that the same taxpayers' money will be used to pay, because you don't pay, it will collapse, because it's the same government who owns 100% of both utilities. There's no private person there.
As a country, US give us money to make ECG efficient.
Yes.
What do they do with the money?
No, they did. If not, the situation would have been worse. If you look at the Malam bulk, the power is stable. People think they don't know what it is. If you look at the work they've done with that money, if not for that,
what about PDS?
A lot of losses would have. In fact, power will not be stable as it is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. They did a lot. No, you don't know the scale. Maybe you didn't follow the scale of work they've done. They've done a lot of work in replacing a lot of inefficient systems. They brought in certain technologies that ECG can sit in the office and know that. They know that power here has an issue sitting in the office to know. It's all because of the MIDA project that brought certain technology, certain system, certain replacement of cables, transformers. The money, they did a lot with that money. They did a lot with that money. That's why in Accra it has helped in stabilizing some areas. See, you can produce you can generate the power, but if your transformers, your cables, your systems are not working, you will still be having doom so. Do you understand it? So that money, honorable, if you look at the way they've done, if we really will use money in that manner, if the 1% I'm saying, if we set it aside and we use MIDA the way they did, they help ECG, so we can dedicate that fund and say MIDA should be the administrator and use the model they use to do the work, to do it. And in 10 years we can fix this system. Maybe in 5 years we will have fixed the system to be more efficient. When efficiency comes and they reduce their losses, then they can give us lower rates. But now that the system is so inefficient, because government is broke. It's not that government doesn't want to fix it. Government is broke. And you see, it's very broke. You understand it? So there are a lot of things to be done in ECG.
Even though government owns 100% shares, those two institutions are today commercial institutions.
They are not.
They are companies.
Yes.
They are registered companies.
Yes.
And I said they must run on a pure on the company regime
Yes.
in such a manner that we employ people, competent people, to be able to manage it as a private entity and rather be able to generate money and revenue for the state.
You are right, and that is why.
So that if it is private company, they go to bank or they go to anywhere and source their funding and run.
That is the best solution. That's why MIDA requested that we give it a concession. Because when things are in government hands, one of the biggest problems of this institution also is that politicians turn them into their procurement centers. Because that's where financiers want to recoup their money. So they want to do procurement in ways and manner. If it were in the private hands, it won't happen. So a lot of things need to happen within ECG and Ghana Water. As I said, as for the personnel, they are good. The problem we have is when politicians want to use it for procurement and make their money. There are issues there. But I can tell you that the technical losses are key. And that's what Nobo has said. If you look at the Ghana Water report for the past 4 or 5 years, they keep raising the alarm that the amount of money they need now to treat water is escalating because the turbidity levels of the water is getting worse because of galamsey. So if we can't fight galamsey, no amount of money we are sinking into Ghana Water is going to be able to save us, because someday they have to shut up a whole treatment plant because the water, the turbidity level is such that within a few minutes the entire machines will break down. So they have to restart. You understand? And so sometimes let's look at the real situations. Let's take politics out. I'm saying that, look, if we can get a 1% of VAT each dedicated that want to save these people, make them efficient, let the fund be administered by MIDA and let MIDA use the model they use for ECG. You spend that money to fix the real problem of ECG and Ghana Water across while we are fighting galamsey at the same time. I believe that we can bring them to a certain level of efficiency. If government owns it 100%, we'll bring them to a certain level of efficiency. Once we achieve that efficiency, the tariffs will come down. But if you are recording 30% losses for ECG, as for Ghana Water, I think it's even about 50% of the water they lose it. Because people are tapping the pipes illegally and pulling the water. So if you are losing 50% of the water because they lack the kind of technology can tell them that somebody is tapping here and they'll go and catch the person within the short time. So you see, and see, water, electricity, there are something that they are not in the system. This country cannot run.
True.
Okay, we have, that's why I said that when we dedicate a fund for education and health. And we think they are so important, one thing, health will not work if water is not flowing. Health will not work when electricity is not flowing. How does the hospital system, the machines and everything work when there's no electricity? So though health and education, I agree, that are so important, need the infrastructure, that's why we dedicate part of our VAT. I think that what sustains them more is when water is available, is when electricity is reliable and it's at an affordable cost. So if we can say 1% of all revenue like we done for GET fund, 1% also for water, they should directly go into a fund. MIDA should help manage the fund and fix our system. Look, the engineers that we have, they have all the best plans to fix our system. It's because certain small interferences. If we can use the MIDA and take that political interference out, I think that we can help these institutions. But if we are just complaining about the adjustment, the point is without adjustment, the utilities will collapse. Look, this government brought one city to raise 5.7 billion. That 5.7 billion is not even up to the 1.2 billion that's in there to buy dollars to buy crude, which is not factored into the tariffs. The crude, the machines that run on crude, it's not even factored into the termination of the tariffs. That's why they brought the one city. One city will raise 5.7 billion. But we need 1.2 billion every year to buy liquid fuel. So the issues that are within these systems, we need to have somebody sit back and say, maybe this suggestion by Elvis will work. Let's just put it in place, 1%. If we say we are getting...
Elvis, in as much as I agree with you, I will only accept this if there is a clear-cut understanding and acceptance of the fact that those entities are going to run purely on commercial basis. They'll be allowed to do their own, run their own managements, have their own systems where somebody can hire and fire without any political intervention, and so that they will run on their because I lived some few months and some few years outside the country, and all these services are provided privately.
Yes.
and they are efficient.
I agree with you.
So
that is why
if we continue to feed them, we continue to feed them.
Even competition will allow you to be able.
Yes. So if the PDS has issues and we cancel it, we still need to bring the private sector into it.
The government has talked about it.
You understand? Yeah. We still have to bring the private. The moment we take away that control of government and private people are taking the decision.
The issue of private participation was not wrong as a policy.
No, the way it was handled, the issues they had
so
with it.
let's sit down as a country and look at it critically.
So let's get it back. Let's get private participation in this. Let's say this money that government is put VAT aside, it is going to be on your balance sheet as a debt you owe the government.
Yes.
And that is why I want private people to come and manage it and make it efficient, so that when you become efficient, you pay our taxpayers' money back to us. Because we are paying for the services you are giving us. But because of inefficiency, you are losing part of the money. Yeah. We are using public money to fix your inefficiency and let private owners run the place. And when it becomes efficient, you pay all the debt you owe the state. Yeah. I'm telling you that these services can become one of the best. But if I'm trying to build a small house, I bought a land somewhere, I'm not scared to build and move there. Well, I'm getting water once in every 2 weeks. Meanwhile, I want to buy there because the main pipeline from Pond passes there, so water will flow every day. Now I'm being told that the step is so stressed that they have to ration water. They have to ration water within the whole Tema enclave. So water will flow once in every 2 weeks. How will I be comfortable trying to go and build and move there? I don't have the money to build. I'm thinking twice that should I look for somewhere else? So we need to look at the realities.
If we restructure ECG, Ghana Water today, and we said we're putting it on the stock market, Ghanaians and individuals should
they will buy.
Yeah.
I tell you,
they will buy.
You have so much to be able to inject the needed capital into it and expand it.
But not in government hands.
No,
yes, it should be
that's will of government.
Yes.
All that government is like government has established a vehicle, sits down, private vehicle, and the government rather makes revenue out of it.
Yeah. But you can only do that when you clean their books. You can't list on the stock when your books are bad. So when we are able to set up the fund and we clean their books and we are bringing efficiency. Because I'm not going to put my money in an inefficient system and say because it's being listed on the stock market. No. So cleaning their books comes with a lot of money. It's there we are talking about 30 billion or something. How do you clean the debt? So if we're able to set up the fund and we say in the next 5 years, we want ECG to be on the stock market. So we are bringing this money as public money to fix the issue that will clean their books and make them viable for stock market listing. And that's the only way a private person will come and invest. True. Because a private person will not come and take the debts of 30 billion or something on ECG. No, you want the government to clean the debts.
Assets, not like
so we need some. And so we have all the experts.
There has been institutions across the world who have gone through difficult times, and it is not government injection, but we've had private participation that have taken over even debts and the assets and managed them and made them profitable. You understand? I have seen, I don't want to mention it because of brand, an institution which was partly government owned. Government weeded itself off, allowed private injection, even though at that time they were almost at liquidation. Individuals came in, took off the debt, ran those institutions, and now they've made them profitable, and they are paying dividends to government.
The truth is that if government is committed to wash it out of ECG,
the commitment is the issue.
And give it to private people. It doesn't even matter the debt. Because power sector is a highly profitable industry.
Indeed.
So if government says, I'm going to wash off my hand, you take over, people will take that debt of ECG and turn it to profit. Because they know power sector is highly profitable. It's about that commitment to say, no, God. And that's the problem I have with Ghanaians. We are so emotionally attached to state institutions. The government say, this state should go, hey, they are selling it for their family and friends. Why should they sell state assets? This mindset is why we are where we are.
Very well.
And until we do that, and I always say it, go and take the state ownership report of Ghana. It audits all state-owned institutions. Every state institution that is joint venture is doing well. All state institutions that are 100% owned, they are all in debt. I talk about the state banks. GCB is half owned by private people. GCB is doing well. ADB, NIB, because they were 100% owned by the state. Go and check their books. Now the state is trying to now use our taxpayers' money to rescue them. We are not rescuing Ghana Commercial Bank because they are half owned by private. Decisions are taken by commercial basis.
And it's on that basis that I'm talking about ECG and water. You see, immediately they know that you will always be there to give them
exactly.
No, they will not.
Exactly.
They will not.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. We will have to leave it here. Thank you to Elvis Dako. He's the editor of the News Center newspaper, newscenter.com. Thank you to the Honorable Nilante Vanderpoy, National Coordinator, District Road Improvement Program, DRIP. Agama from Teshi says, good morning, Anna. Our salary has been increased by 9% and utility bills increased more than 9%. This is part of the reasons why citizens won't stop doing illegal connections because our salaries are not enough to cater for all these. Thank you so much for your messages. Where he's caught. Where he's caught.
Your leaders sat and negotiated for it and it was agreed. My legal connection, I agree with you today.
Thank you so much. Please don't go away. The show continues after this.